I'm here live on location for CCI Professional Partners ToolTALK's interviewing Jordan Vanderveld from Edison Engineering. Jordan, tell me a little bit about your company and what services you provide.
Edison Engineers is a communication-focused engineering consultant that provides services for your capital plans, reserve fund studies, and building restoration, project implementation, all across, all start to finish.
All right, what should a customer look for when trying to source a vendor in your line of work?
You should look for communication, responsiveness. So at Edison, because we're communication focused, when our clients call us, we try to pick up the phone. When they email us, we try to get back to them within the same day, just so they know that we're there for them.
All right, what tips would you give your clients throughout the 4 different seasons?
Project planning is a big one, where often boards, when they get into the Canadian winter, they go, "Ooh, we want to get this project done." So if you start the planning in the winter, you're actually kind of behind the 8 ball. You want to get those projects initiated in the fall, so that if you need to do a condition assessment, you can get that done so that you know what the project scope should be. You make an informed decision before you get into the design work, which should be happening around now, where contractors don't have their projects going on, so they're really trying to secure work for the next construction season. So this is the time to be actually tendering the work. So the design has to happen fall, winter, and you tender now so that you're ready for the construction season, ready to go with a nice good price.
All right. What might you suggest a customer avoid when using your type of services?
A big one for in the condo market right now is the amount of financial pressure that corporations are under when we're producing reserve fund study updates that are accounting for the big inflation that happened from the COVID pandemic and then even afterwards. Corporations are tending to shop the engineers around a little bit to try to find lower contributions. Most engineers, and us in particular, we're not opposed to making some adjustments, but we also do want to make sure that you have a good plan going forward and don't want to put yourself in a bad position for future when you have an underfunded reserve because you found out someone that said you could have lower contributions.
All right, what's one thing customers might not think of related to your company's service or industry?
Right now, the big one is mechanical services. So we have a mechanical engineering team that helps with your boiler replacements, riser replacements for your piping, make of airs, all that sort of thing. There's been legislative changes recently which impact what type of equipment can be used, and obviously with some of the green initiatives happening, you also want to think about the future and how the current equipment that you're replacing now might factor into that. And professional guidance is really needed there. Going straight to the service contractor often results in missed opportunities for energy savings, et cetera, et cetera.
Thanks. And are there common mistakes that customers make in your industry?
One of the big ones we see is you don't want to sound like you're trying to sell services, because ultimately we're here to help our clients, but when you cut out the professional engineering services, you save a few percent on the project cost, but the reality is you might have to redo your projects because there's mistakes made or things missed or code violations. The worst situations we see are when corporations proceed direct to a contractor without a clear scope of work. Some work happens, they pay for the work, and then ultimately the work isn't what was needed, or if there's defects and you have to redo the project. The worst situations we come across are corporations that have to do projects twice. There's enough pressure on condos financially, you can't afford to make those mistakes. Having a diligent engineer that goes through a proper design process is critical to a successful project. And that starts with the condition assessment. So don't skip that step. Even if you're having issues with your building, there are different options that are available for you. You don't necessarily have to do the whole project right now. Your engineer should guide you through that process. Say, there might be some localized repairs that you could do and buy yourself another 10 years. Or maybe, hey, this is like a high-risk item, and you should actually, we're planning for it in 5, but you should do it now. So just engage your professionals to get good guidance and make informed decisions.
Great, thank you very much.